Awesome. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. So if this is your first time attending an Astro webinar, you will see a chat box off to the side of your screen, and you are able to ask questions there. So feel free as we're going along to participate in the chat. Everyone will be able to see our conversations in there. And then periodically, I'll be sharing links from our knowledge base pertaining to what Stacey is talking about. And and then at the end, we'll open up the floor for questions and we'll address them verbally at the very end. So without further ado, here is our Stacey D, the Queen of Canada. So she's going to share all the wonderful things, the top 5 things that blow people's minds when talking about Astro. So yeah, take it from here.
Thank you, Kat. If this is not your first time doing a webinar with Astro, you'll know that I normally back Kat up and handle the chat. So it's very fun having our roles reversed a little bit today. I am so excited to share with you the top 5 things you didn't know you needed to know about Astro. In my daily Astro life, I get the distinct pleasure of getting to speak with tons of retailers all day long. And I've noticed that there's a common trend of things that I share with them, and they're like, what? I didn't know that. So I decided to pick my favorite top 5, and I'll basically take you through them, and hopefully they blow your mind too. If you noticed on our social media, we did call this the top 5 things you need to know about Astro, and it's of course because I am Astro's Canadian gal. I do reside in the Great White North, but I get to speak to all of you all over North America, which is super fun. So it's going to be a really nice, short and sweet one today. Again, just, top 5 things, quick and easy. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you, hang on. I am a technology expert, am I not? Okay, so the first thing that we're going to show you is a lot of times I speak with retailers and they're like, you know what, it takes me so long to do this transaction. I can't, it takes forever. And I just don't know how to make it any faster. Is there a way to make it faster? And yes, there is a way to do things super fast in Astro. So this screen will be pretty familiar to you. This is your customer's card. Typically what you do is you use these handy dandy drop-down menus. So when your guest is standing at the till, you go through and you select the brand, then you select either the size or the program, and then you select the SKU. Now, if you're doing a brand that has lots of different flavors, it could take you a significant amount of time to go through this list. I'm about to blow your mind. You can, if you have a scanner hooked up to your whatever machine you're running Astro on, you can scan, but sometimes scanners can be really finicky and they cause more trouble than they're worth. So if you don't have time for a scanner, this gray bar here is you can actually type into this bar. So if you have the bag in front of you, whatever product it is, and you key in the last 5 digits of that UPC and hit enter, that'll get that product in there without having to use the drop downs and without having to troubleshoot an angry scanner. I just heard that. That was minds being blown. This doing it this way saves you tons of time because, again, you're looking at that one specific item instead of going through 33 different SKUs looking for the fish with apple instead of fish with pear. So, again, this gray bar, when you look at it live on your screen, it will say scan or enter item here, and it does not look like you can type in that box, but trust me when I tell you, you can type in that box. So far, so good. I hear some chatting stuff. Do we have any questions, Kat?
Nope, just mind's blown, that's all.
I love it. Okay, the second thing that I want to chat on is what I call check and double check. So Astro Offers, as we all know, are the most incredible tool that we have in our toolbox. They have the potential to make you lots and lots of money, but they only have the potential to make you lots and lots of money if you do them correctly. So there is a report inside your Astro portal. I'm going to try, bear with me here, my technology. I'm going to share a screen. I'm going to share my entire screen. So over here, if you pop into your reports and go to Astro Offers participation, this one's really cool. What you want to make sure of is that when you have something in here, you want to make sure that your rewards earned matches your rewards redeemed. And what I mean by that is sometimes you have staff who ring through the actual Astro offer, but they don't actually complete the transaction. So their rewards earned may be greater than the rewards redeemed. So if you know you have 73 rewards earned and only 70 rewards redeemed, that means there's 3 you're not going to get credit for. So what you want to make sure that you do is pop in, and I should have populated this. For some reason, it's not actually showing what I want it to show. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that those rewards earned match the reward redeemed. And if it doesn't, it's a super easy fix. All you do is click on the customer, find out who that customer is, go into their card and finish the transaction. And it looks exactly the same as you would with a frequent buyer. I recommend that you do this once a month because that will allow you to balance your offers before the offer expires. You know, typically an offer lasts for 30 days. And we know that on midnight of the last day, that offer shuts off. Once that's shut off, you can't go back in there. I mean, you can, but it's a little bit more difficult to go back in there. So the day before the offer ends, go into your report, double check, make sure they all match, fix any that are broken, and that'll make sure that you get all of your optimal credits before the end of the month. Did we hear more minds being blown?
Yeah, totally. And one question that came up, so how to find the customers. So the cool thing about the numbers that populate in that report. So when you click on the number that's under rewards earned, when you click on it, it'll show you a list of all the customers that earned rewards that day and what they actually redeemed. So if you have a customer listed there, their name, and it says, you know, hasn't selected reward, there's your customer, and you can click on that customer's name and you can go into their account and make sure. So when you're doing this, you do want to make sure that they didn't just skip it that day. They didn't want it. So you want to check your point of sale. Did you give them that reward? And then make sure it matches in Astro. So yeah, they'll all be listed there for you, which is pretty sweet.
Super sweet. Thank you. Moving right along. Combining duplicate customers. This is another one. So lots of times you may have customers who, you know, Jane Smith and Robert De Niro were friends before, and they both shopped at your store, and somehow they fell in love in the treat aisle, and now they live together and they have pets together, but they still both have their own separate cards. That's totally fine. You can keep them separate. But what if you got a customer that you wanted to merge together? It's very easy to do that. And bear with me here. I just figured out why. Oops. Bear with me here. Oh gosh. See, I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again here. Cancel. Share screen. Share. So to merge a duplicate customer, and again, this you know, that could be 2 people that got married. It could be a customer who, you know, she forgot what she put herself in as in the very first time. All you're going to do is you're going to go to Actions, and all the way down to Combine Duplicate Customer Accounts. You start looking them up. So you just start typing the first name. So we know that in this particular case, I'm going to say that Jane Ennis and Jane Simmons. Jane Ennis got married. She was previously a Simmons. So she definitely has 2 cards in her system with your store. All you do is you click Add them to queue. And once they move down here to the queue, you click the circle on the one you want to keep. And then you hit Combine Customers. It'll ask, are you sure? Because we want to make sure that before you do anything permanent, we always ask you, are you sure? You hit yes, and then everything on her previous card now moves over to her brand new card, and all of the cards are combined together. This is a super amazing function because if you had paper cards and you had to do this with paper cards, you'd have to go through, find all of them, stamp them, staple them, all the things, that messy things you have to do with paper. This is amazing because it happens super fast and super quick. And then you just carry on as normal. There's no need for you to verify it. It just happens automatically without you having to think or share or do anything, which is really cool. Okay, moving right along. Choose this media. Oh, the next one, talk to the shelf. So I don't know if you guys are aware, but we have the ability inside your Astro to click, and I'm just going to go back again here to sharing my screen. Sorry that this feels really clunky. This is my first time using the share the screen function on this particular platform, so bear with me. So in Frequent Buyer, recently, I think it was probably maybe 3 months ago, this is still pretty new, you can head over to frequent buyer and then frequent buyer shelf talkers. And what we've done is we've created these beautiful, beautiful shelf talkers that you can use to highlight at shelf that there is a frequent buyer program. And, most people think nothing of having a frequent buyer program. They're just like, oh yeah, frequent buyer is just what happens. They just, we just expect it. But frequent buyer programs are amazing in that when your guest is aware that when they purchase X number of this, in this particular case I just randomly chose Boss Dog, but if they're aware of the fact that when they purchase 12, they get one free, they're going to be more inclined to be like, oh, wow, I need to keep shopping at this store because I know I get buy 12, get one free. What we also know is that frequent buyers can help mitigate those price increases that you're getting every 6 minutes, it seems. With some of the bigger box retailers and those online guys, they don't have a frequent buyer program, so they're not giving you an automatic discount every time you make a purchase of the product. Some customers don't think of that, but this can help take that itch and scratch away from those constant price increases. Letting your customer know that there's a frequent buyer, again, keeps them in their store and it keeps them loyal to that particular brand as well as your particular business. On the shelf talker, you can see down here, there's a QR code that takes them to the either Apple Store or the Google Store to download the Astro app. If you haven't downloaded your Astro app, we're going to cover that in the next segment of things you should know about Astro, but I'll give you a little hint. It's really a handy dandy tool to have and share with your guests. Oops, whoa, that's terrifying. Stop sharing. It's a really neat way to keep in touch with your customers and also give them all of the information they could ever possibly want to know about where they are in their frequent buyer journey, any loyalty points that they have available, any of those offers that you've turned on. A really, really amazing tool, and it is included in your platform. So to find that, all you do is you head over into Actions, and then down to mobile app customization. You can change the colors to your beautiful store colors. You can add your logo. And again, it's free for your guests to use. In conjunction with the marketing suite, you have the ability to send them push notifications. Why that's cool is because if you're like me, my personal email box is an atrocious mess. If you've ever shopped at Old Navy, you know that you go in and you buy a shirt, and every 6 minutes for the next 10 years of your life, you get an email from them. I think I have about 30,000 unread emails in my personal email box. So I am not a person who loves to be targeted by email. But if you were to send me a push notification through my app, I definitely see it and read it and be more inclined to respond and engage. So that is all I have to say. Oh, here. If you need some help and you want some more information on anything we've talked about today, you can definitely hit us up at support@astroloyalty.com. That's our main email box, and we triage everything from there based on who is the best astronaut to answer your particular question. So please feel free to reach out anytime. We're here for you, and we love talking with you. Anything that came up in the chat that we want to talk about, Kat?
Yeah, so one thing that came up is how to handle a return. So if somebody returns something that is on a frequent buyer card, how to do that. So there is ways to do it manually, and there are certain things within the integration, like if you're using, for instance, like a Lightspeed integration, the integration will help you manage that. So for instance, if you're using Lightspeed, you'll see when you actually do the return within the point of sale and you have to push it over as a return. So you're not doing a sale, you're doing a refund. You hit your Astro button, it'll go into Astro Loyalty, and then under today's purchases, it'll find the most recently purchased item that matches that return. It'll ask the cashier if they want it to be removed from the frequent buyer card. The cashier clicks the thing to remove and it'll be removed. Now, if you're using a standard Astro where you actually have your point of sale separate from Astro, there is no integration in play, you would simply go into Astro, and if you click on any one of those green dots on a card, it'll pop up. You'll see a little pop-up that'll give you two options. One of them is to remove it from the card entirely. The other one is to push it onto a separate card. So some people will do that if they're not a return, they just want to track things on separate cards. You can do that as well. So click to remove, or the integration will help you with that. So some of the other ones I believe help you as well. So yeah. And the other one that came up, let's see. So let's see. Okay, so yeah, so Paris asked, can we get an emailed hyperlink Astro rewards, valid products on an entire page rather than print each one separately? So the real quick thing that I typed in there, so like the shelf talkers and everything, those are designed to be printed and hung on the shelves. Under your actions menu, you will have something called My Astro webpage. So pretty much anybody who's on Astro has this. So our retailers have this, our manufacturer partners have them, and then our distributor partners have them as well. And it's going to show you your customers, and you can have it either embedded onto your webpage or you can share it as a URL, and it'll show every single program that you have running at your store. And once we launch My Pet Eats Local, which will happen in May, that same page, a much prettier version, will be part of our store locator program. So any people that are out there that have yet to start shopping local, that are looking for a store, will be able to find you if you choose to participate. We'll be able to find you on the store locator. They'll be able to see everything you got going on, and they'll be able to sign up for your program. So that's coming very soon. There's going to be a whole webinar dedicated to that. And let's see.
Just before we move on, I figured out why I couldn't show you. I was logged into the incorrect store. So if we can for a moment, I'll go back and just share that balancing the offers participation. So over here in reports, under Astro Offers participation, this defaults to today, but you can totally do it for a month period. So this shows us that we have some signature offers that were used. It was the signature dollars off trout and salmon. So it shows me that I've sold 2 items. I have 2 rewards earned, but I've only redeemed 1. So what this tells me is that I have given away potentially 2 rewards worth of offer dollars, but I've only actually registered 1 completely in Astro. So to figure this out, all you do is click on the number 2. This will take you over to which 2 customers have purchased this product. So we can see Stacey Bowie, this was redeemed, this one's complete. We can see that Jane Smith here, she has not completed her reward. So if we go, now we know who this is. So if we go and find out, we jump into the mystery machine and head over here, Jane Smith. Let's have a look at this one. Oh, I have 2 Jane Smiths. I guess I could combine those 2, couldn't I? That's not this one. So I'm going to hit checkout customer, and we can see this reward. So we've logged this product into the system, but she has not actually purchased, or she has not actually redeemed the dollars off. Chances are donuts to dollars to donuts. Chances are that you have indeed given her the dollars off for this product. So all you're going to do to fix this is go to checkout. You're going to confirm whatever information the vendor requires. So I'm going to put her Outlook.com. Confirm information, confirm the rebate, and I'm done. Green means go. This is turned green. We're good to go. Now, when we go back and look at the reports, again, reports, offers, participation, we've earned 2, we've redeemed 2, you're going to get your dollars back. All is right with the world again. Ooh, that's so scary. Perfect.
And one thing that came up was how to send push notifications. So everybody has, all of our Astro retailers have access to the Astro mobile app, which is free and included with the standard Astro account. Now, if you enable the marketing suite, which is up there on your top menu, you'll see where it says marketing. You activate that, you'll then have access to campaign capabilities. So you'll be able to send, campaigns to those of your customers that have the app on their phone as notifications. So the cool thing about push notifications is that they're all collected in one space on that app. They're not going to get buried in an inbox. So, and they're also free to send. So there is no caps on how many push notifications you can send through the app, and there are no carrier fees involved. So it's like sending a text, but like no additional fees. So the really cool thing there is if they have push notifications active on their phone, they'll see it pop up in their notifications and they can go to it. And even if they have that disabled, they'll still be able to go to the app, click on the notification section, and every communication that you've ever sent them will be collected there for them to review. So that, me personally, that's my favorite way to communicate with customers is app notifications through that app. So that can be activated through the marketing suite. And So it'll take you through that whole process. And so with the fees associated with the marketing suite, there's a membership fee. What we refer to are only the customers on your account that are capable of being communicated with. So those are the customers that have an email address. So the email customers, they can either receive emails or they can log into the mobile app and have access to that. And then customers with phone numbers are, if you activate it, are able to receive text message communications or SMS text. So we'll base the membership fee on how many of those customers. We do not count the name-only customers. So yeah, definitely check out the marketing suite. There's a 15-day trial period on that, and we don't collect any payment information until you decide to keep it. Oh, loyalty points. So I'll try to do this real quick. Loyalty points. Okay, loyalty points are one of my favorite custom programs because it allows you to reward customers that aren't participating in frequent buyer programs. So we have so many creative loyalty point programs out there. So we have retailers that are rewarding customers, not just for purchases, but for tweeting about them, posting about them, leaving a review on Google, bringing in a reusable shopping bag. I have some retailers that are rewarding, 10 points for something like that. Donating to a rescue, in there, things like that. So there's so many different ways that you can reward your customer through a loyalty point program. And then you're also able to set multiple rewards. So you can have different levels. So like a customer earns 300 points. They get either dollars off, percent off, or, a free item, or you can, make it pretty much anything that you want. And then if they save those points and go to 500, they can get an even bigger reward. They go to 1,000, they get an even bigger reward, and so forth. So and then if you want to take point of sale into the mix, a good amount of our integrated points of sale do have points integration. So off the top of my head, most of the REST API ones do. So with the exception of Pinergy, but we have, eTail Pet, Lightspeed, Vend, most of them do. So if you're interested in that, check with support@astrology.com. We can help you with that. And it's one of the easiest platforms to maintain because you can turn events on, you can turn events off. Events are how they earn points. You can have points earned based on actions or purchases. I could go on for days. It's so incredibly flexible, and it's only $15 a month, which is insane. So, yeah. And then there was another one that came up. Convert to employee. So what does it mean to convert to employee?
That one's for staff feeder program. So if someone has a staff feeder program, you would convert your employee from regular customer to a staff customer, and then they can participate in those employee feeding programs. There are not very many of them, so it doesn't happen very often, but that would be what that would mean.
Awesome. Yeah. And there's all kinds of programs like that. So there's like breeder programs, the employee feeding programs are awesome. So there's different levels that your customers can be on, and it allows them to have access to different things. So that's pretty sweet. There's another one. Oh, and then one thing that came up in relation to the QR codes. So like I said, everyone has access to the Astro mobile app. You can customize that app by going to your actions menu. You can add your logo. You can change your color palette, all of that. Now, if you've just done that, that means you're using the standard app and the QR code will work for that app. However, if you came to us via our support desk and you commissioned our designers to create a fully customized app for you, meaning if your customers go into the App Store and they do not see the Astro star when they're downloading your app, they actually see your logo and all of that stuff, a fully designed, fully customized app, then the QR code that we have on our shelf talkers will not take them to that app. It'll take them to the standard app. So if you want your shelf talkers to have your own link to your own app on them, you would need to generate a QR code. We can probably help you with that if you need help with that. And then you would need to basically slip that QR code onto the actual shelf talkers and put them up yourself. So we can help you with that. Just go to support@astrology.com, reach out to us, and one of our teams can help you with that process because we do have templates in place. breeder programs. Stacey, do you remember if we have any public? Because I think
sometimes it depends. Sometimes it depends on your region, and sometimes it depends on the country. It's a little bit finicky, but I know sometimes Champion has their breeder program out there available. There are some who do frequent buyer or breeder programs in normal life, but they have not allowed us to go digital just because they want to manage that really closely and hands-only. So if there is a breeder program you're looking for and you don't see it in your grid, just let us know. You can email us at support, and we will be happy to take great care of you.
Yeah, exactly. And there's some coming soon. We actually are in talks with a couple. At least I can think of at least one right now that we're in talks to that's thinking about launching a brand new breeder program that they've never done before on Astro. So that hopefully will be coming soon. They're also, we also have a lot of brands that are interested in sharing the love, that are excited about that. So there are more sharing the love programs coming. So that's another thing that I was actually really surprised at Global, that people weren't aware about, like what sharing the love is. So I'll just talk about that real quick. So sharing the love is a matchmaker between people that have just adopted a pet from a 501c3 or a shelter, and we're matching them with you guys. So like an independent pet shop. And the way we're doing that is a bunch of brands have been generous enough to publish adoption programs on Astro. So these adoption programs, they give away full-size product, not just like a little sample bag of whatever. It is a full bag, full box, full pump, whatever it is, of something. So depending on the programs that you're enrolled in at your store, you could give away up to 6 full-size items for free. So a customer can come in, they can choose kibble, wet food, a dehydrated raw food, a supplement, a treat, a supply item. Okay, so those are the categories that we have currently. And we're adding new categories as new things become available. There's probably going to be a toy category soon. So you can put all these items together and send them off on their way. And then the brands also have bounce back coupons associated with these things. So like, let's say, for instance, they choose, Primal to be part of their bundle. Anywhere from 3 to 10 days later, that customer is going to get an email that's going to notify them that they have a coupon that can only be redeemed at your store. So please come back. We've actually added a coupon menu to the mobile app. So these Sharing the Love customers will see pending coupons right there on their app. So email is required for Sharing the Love. So definitely tell the customers, hey, you gave us your email. You can download our app and you're going to get coupons soon. So do that so you don't miss them, kind of thing. So we've had awesome success with Sharing the Love. And also it affords you an amazing opportunity to post this on your social media. You have this customer that just came in with their little puppy or kitten or, senior dog or whoever they just adopted. And they're going to have a bunch of cool free stuff. You're going to help them find, toys and bowls and beds and all this other stuff that they need. They don't know they need. And then you can take a really good photo op, put it up on your Instagram. I mean, it's perfect. It really is. So share the love. It's free. Check it out.
The other cool thing, and I love everything Kat had to say, but I'm just going to monetize it a little bit. The cool thing about Share the Love is that it gets you a customer with basically not doing a whole lot of work. People always think that they have to be a rescue in order to share the love. They do not. You are typically, as a retailer, you're working with a shelter in some capacity, whether it be to rehome your close dated food or your expired food or your customer return food. This is your opportunity to work with them to reciprocate that relationship. And all they have to do is anytime somebody comes in and loves on a creature and takes them into their new life with them, they send them to you. And if we look at it, let's say, and I'm just going to use easy numbers for easy math. Let's say that customer comes in and they've adopted a puppy, and that puppy, they shop with you once a month, almost every month. So let's say 10 months, and that puppy lives to be 10 years old. That's a $10,000 customer for you. And all you had to do was work nice and close with the shelter that you're already doing anyway. Plus give them free stuff and make sure they're set up for their brand new home. It's such a beautiful, beautiful relationship for everybody, and everybody wins. Especially that cute little creature.
Exactly. Yeah. And as a foster myself, I mean, one of the biggest things, I get cats, and my first thing that I do is I put them on raw food. Why? Because cats do amazing on raw food. It cuts down on the dander. People that have allergies are able to adopt them. And the biggest thing that I want is for that cat to remain on this high quality food. I mean, whether that's a high quality can or, a raw diet, whatever. And I mean, your local store is the best place to get that stuff. And your staff is the best people to talk nutrition with a new pet owner that needs help, that may not know. So yeah, I love this program. We love this program. It is a huge pet project for us. We launched it in 2020. We're continuing to build it. It is going to be a huge part of My Pet Eats Local. So definitely check that out. And I'll put a link for My Pet Eats Local in the chat. So this is going to be, a connected thing. It's basically our way of connecting everything in the Astroverse together. So it's just a way that we can celebrate those pet owners that have chosen to shop locally. And we're helping further that connection with you. So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff out there, guys, which we're excited about. So yeah. Any other questions, y'all, or anything that I may have missed? Oh, okay. So cool question. Is there a toy and collar brand coming for sharing the love and frequent buyer? So possibly. So we have talked with some brands that are interested in doing possibly toy programs. So toys, in our opinion, work really well for sharing the love, and they also work really well for offers. Now, if it's a refillable toy, so y'all know what I mean by refillable toy, like something like, you have your little, I'm not going to give a brand name out, but you might know what I'm talking about. You give like a little rubber toy, and then you have like this cool stick thing that you can like put into that toy, and then, so the frequent buyer would be for the refills for that toy, those yummy little sticks and stuff. So things like that makes sense, that would work. Because we do like to guide people in a way like, okay, would this be appealing for the pet owner? Like, does this make sense? Or would this card just sit there and not be redeemed? So, does it make sense for an offer, a frequent buyer, sharing the love, etc.? So we try to guide people in the right direction there. But yeah, hopefully soon we'll have something. We'll have toys represented. Collars is actually an interesting idea. I know there's certain collars out there that I really like that are guaranteed. Leashes, for instance. So yeah, that could be something that we could explore for sure. Yes.
Ooh.
That's a good question.
Great question.
All right. So I'm marketing. So I send a lot of the Astro campaigns. So I am familiar with this just from our end. So one thing that we have learned, so let me just kind of summarize this in a brief way. So with the Astro Marketing Suite, it does not require you or require your customer to verify their email address. And the reason we do that is just because we want to assume that they're going to give the correct email address. So if they do, so when you add them as a customer and you add their email address, you can set up the marketing suite. Like if you are using the marketing suite, you can set it up to automatically send them the welcome email. In that welcome email, there'll be a link where they can verify their email address. If they do verify their email address, any campaign that you send them will be sent via a high-speed server. So they're going to get that campaign faster. If they do not verify their email address, they're still going to get an email from you. If the email is correct, it'll just be sent from a private server, so you do not get flagged for spam. You will never get flagged for spam if that's something that you're concerned about. Now, as for delivery, under your campaigns, it will show you the percent that are read. So how many people have actually opened that campaign that you sent. Now, if you're around, 30, anything over 30%, you're killing it. Okay. So that's just typical. If you're over 30, you're really killing it. So the best thing that I can say is just keep at it. Make sure that you're communicating to your customers, when they're in your store, if you do have their email address on file, let them know that, you send out, things. Make sure that they're actually checking their inbox for what you're doing. With me personally, and I'm sure like you as a consumer, if you know that you're going to get something really cool, you're going to be checking your inbox for that. So, and then the other big thing too, we do see a higher read rate on things like app notifications and SMS text. So SMS text is going to cost you 3 cents per individual text sent. So if you send a campaign to 10 people, it's going to be 10 times 3 cents. But app notifications, like I said, are free. So hopefully that answered your question to some degree. I tend to ramble. So if you go to, in your marketing suite, you click on the section that says campaigns, and then you click on the very top, it's template campaigns. That'll take you to your campaign list where you'll be able to see impressions of that campaign. So you'll be able to see, if people have viewed it, if they've unsubscribed, if they've come in and actually redeemed an offer that you shared on that campaign. And yeah, those are the top things that you'll see. So if you, from your dashboard, campaigns, template campaigns, and then you'll see all of your sent campaigns listed. Perfect. Contacted about joining Astro. Ooh. Okay, that's an awesome question. Perfect. Okay. That's something I have never considered before, like actually sharing who we've talked to. So, okay, one thing I will say, in our newsletters, so you can actually find our newsletters on the blog. So if you go to astroloyalty.com and click on the blog section, you'll see them listed there. You can just go to fresh news, you'll see it. We do email them out as well. On there, we'll mention brands to look out for. So brands to look out for are the brands that actually signed a contract with us, but they haven't actually pushed a program out yet. So that's the best that we can do for sharing with you that. We don't like to necessarily talk about those that may have said no to us or are still considering it. Stacey, what do you think? Because sometimes we'll tell people, like, if you don't see somebody on Astro, like, hit them up, tell them how cool Astro is, kind of thing.
It can't hurt. There's some times where people are just like, who are these Astro people? I don't know these guys. And the more our partners who already work with us in terms of retailers, the more that they can say, hey, these Astro guys, they eventually do come to us and be like, people will not stop talking about you. I need to come to the Cool Kids Club. So the more you can speak with your rep about that, we love that. Kat's right. Some of those, there are some who do say no to us. It doesn't happen very often, but definitely there are some, it's just not the right time, or it's not the right model, or those kinds of things. But, we find that, in my personal motto, no is not no until someone phones the police and say, please stop stalking me. I don't want you to talk to me anymore. So, there are times where, it's just not the right time. And then 2 years later, all of a sudden it is. So please keep sharing us with them, because you never know. It just might be the right time.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, so as for sharing the love, so a new pet checklist to have in store and share with our shelter to get sharing the love out. So there are some of our retailers, I shouldn't say some, we have been discovering more and more of our retailers that are really proactive about this, that are actually seeing the biggest return with sharing the love. So there's one store in particular, Firehouse Pet Shop in Washington, and then I believe Bush Pet Products, Mississippi Mutts. There's a couple out there that have taken the extra step to actually make, like just a regular flyer. You just go down and print a bunch of sheets off of it, but it's essentially just a thing of like, hey, we're participating in sharing the love, and pick several items for your bundle kind of situation. I have a template out there that I can share with you, but anyway, and then they're just passing them off to the shelters, and they're just asking them like, hey, you adopt a pet, please, give them this sheet of paper. Some of them actually went ahead and got postcards made. So, something like that, yes, you go to Vistaprint or one of those places, it's, you're going to put down some money to get it made, but you're going to see a big return on that as well. Now, when we do launch My Pet is Local and have the store locator, that's going to be your best ally. So in that case, all you have to do is, let your shelters know, hey, they can go to this website and they'll find me. They enter their zip code, they'll see sharing the love, participation, all that. So that's going to be awesome. Let me see what else would be a good way of doing that. I can get with you to help with that. Actually, there is no time frame, Kelly. So for sharing the love, is there a time frame within which the adopted pet parent has to come in after they adopt? No. So, and honestly, we leave some wiggle room for you. So our big rule with sharing the love, really the only rule, is 501c3 shelter. Okay. We don't want to support anything that's going to be like a weird backyard breeding situation. However, we do allow some exceptions. So things like, a stray hold, small animals like guinea pigs or whatnot that, are purchased from a store, that's fine. Something like, okay, my son had this dog and now he can't care for it, so now this is my dog, some situation like that, when there are other options on the form. But we do not have any sort of time limit on there. The only thing that they cannot do is if they adopted a dog within 2022, they cannot redeem, and they adopt another dog later in 2022, they cannot redeem a bundle for the same species, more than one within the same year. I hope that made sense. That sounded crazy. But so they cannot redeem multiple bundles of the same species. Now, if they adopted a dog and a cat, they can do a dog bundle. They can do a cat bundle. That's totally fine. They can throw a rabbit bundle in there as well. So those are really the only rules with sharing the love. Yeah. Okay, yeah, Teresa, I love that. Yep, PDF. Holy crap. You save paper too. That's amazing. Yeah. So, so Teresa shared, they did a cute menu of sharing the love items and emailed the PDF to shelters and rescues. Brilliant. Love that. That's awesome. And then everybody, like I mentioned before, the whole My Astro webpage. On that My Astro webpage, there is a section dedicated to sharing the love. And that page is going to be updated very soon. It's going to include a video that explains what sharing the love is. And then below that video is going to be all the sharing the love programs that you're enrolled in. So that is going to be a really cool URL to share. So you can include that on your PDF as a clickable link, or you can just type out the address. Now, it is going to be a long URL. So if that's an issue, I'll use something like tinyurl.com or bit.ly to shorten that into a more digestible URL. So that's a cool thing you can do too. Yes. Cat dog checklist.
I got it. I can share it. I think I'm going to try.
Yeah. So I make a lot of assets in Canva just because it is a free piece to use. Oh, yay, Stacey. So this is a thing that we put together just to help when the actual pet owner comes into your store. So the big thing with sharing the love is we want you to walk around the store with your customer. It's not just come in and get like 6 free things and see you whenever I see you, hopefully. It is walking around the store with the customer and looking at this checklist. These are all kinds of things that maybe the pet owner did not realize that they needed. So since this is in Canva, you can completely customize this list to match the items that you have in your store. You can offer your own suggestions in here. And you walk around, you check items off that list. Those are extra sales for you. And it just is a way for you to continue this conversation, or basically have this conversation with this new customer, getting to know them, getting to know their pet. They're going to be more willing to ask questions of you since you're spending this amount of time with them. So that's really important. And yeah, I can share the link for that. I do have it. I'll definitely share that link for you so you can get it. And then on the back, so I have a dog one and a cat one. And on the back of it, there is a place where you can customize it and you can add your particular programs that you're, so like, the brands that are participating, so you know that you've picked them all out. So a couple cool suggestions that retailers have found in their store to help them all the sharing the love items for that bundle is they'll use, color-coded stickers. So they'll get like, off of, dollar store or whatever, they'll get like sheets of heart stickers. So they'll do like red for kibble, green for wet, and they'll basically stick these little stickers on the shelf talkers, on their shelves. So they know, okay, I need to grab a red item. I need to grab a green item. I need to grab a blue item. Something like that can be really helpful. So that's one thing you can do. Other people will put, the little stickers directly on the actual product. We may introduce sharing the love shelf talkers at some point. That is also a consideration. Possibly like a, yeah, we're still experimenting around with how that will actually work. But yeah, and then each one of those programs, if you go to the program under your enrolled list, just like any program on Astro, under the card section of it, there is a link that says, you know, you can download or export items within that program. So that'll let you know exactly what SKUs are part of it, because some of them are, you know, they'll do limited SKUs. It's not like all medium bags or whatnot, specific formulas. So, yay, Stacey, killing it. So there you go. So export product list will give you exactly what's part of that program. So that's super helpful. And yeah, boom, bing, bang, boom, there they are. So yeah, let me find that Canva link for you. I think I actually have it in our knowledge base as well.
That's the hot commodity, is that Canva checklist link. It's so super helpful.
Oh yeah, I love it. And that was inspired by, I believe that was inspired by Firehouse Pet Shop. So I like to give credit when credit is due on that. There we go. Perfect. So yeah, I'll get that in the chat for you guys. Introductions. Actually, here, I'll just share the direct link to Canva. I know I have it in the thing somewhere. Oh, actually, you know what, guys? Let me share this with you instead. Let me mute myself just in case this video starts. All right, I'm back. That right there is a YouTube video that goes over all the crazy stuff with sharing the love. So the checklist, in the description of that video, there is a link to the checklist. And, you know, so it'll add it to your Canva account. Basically, then you can, you know, customize it however you like. And then the whole thing on there will go through, you know, all the tips and tricks. I'll actually do show posts that our retailers have done related to sharing the love. So you'll be able to see like, okay, Bush Pet Products did an amazing post about like just, they went out and actually got bags made with their store name on it. And so anybody that comes in for sharing the love, they get a tote bag, which is an amazing idea because it gives them basically like a memento from that day. So it's like you're celebrating an adoption day with that pet owner. They're getting a souvenir of that. They're filling up that bag with, you know, free things. And it's like, when they get to take that bag home, they will post about it. You better guarantee it. And they'll tag you. It's so freaking cool. So that video right there, it goes through all of the personal examples that retailers have had with sharing the love, tips. I'll demonstrate the checklist, all of that. So, and again, sharing the love is free. It's honestly, and here's the kicker too, it's free for the brands too. Any brand that's interested in doing a sharing the love program, we do not charge fees on them. There's no redemption fees, nothing, publication, nothing, free. So all the brands have to worry about is, you know, compensating you for the free items that you give away through those programs. So yeah, we love it. I mean, here's a cool thing too. If you go to our Facebook page and you go to the community section of that Facebook page, Mississippi Mutts, I have to give an amazing shout out to them. Every time they have somebody come in and get a sharing the love adoption bundle, they'll post about it. They'll take a picture of the person and their pet. They'll, you know, thank them for coming in that day, and they'll tag us. And I cannot say how grateful we are for that, because honestly, we love seeing it. So, you know, I mean, there was one story that came through, and I do like to reshare them. So you'll see them on our Facebook timeline as well. And there was an incident here. I'll share our pages up here too. So this is our Facebook. Definitely follow us because it's freaking cute. Yeah. So there is one particular case. There was what was her name? Betty. I think it was Betty. Gosh, there was a girl. I think it was a girl named Betty.
It was the tale of two Bettys. It was
Betty.
Betty.
Tale of two Betty. So there was a girl named Betty that adopted a dog named Betty, and now they're best Bettys, and they're Betty's keeping the name. So it's Betty with a Y and Betty with an IE. So, stuff like that. I mean, you can't make it up. It's beautiful. So, yeah. So definitely, if you do sharing the love, share it on social media, or document that day in a space that people are going to be like, wow, this is really cool. Like, look at what this shop is doing. And please tag us because I want to see it. I want to see puppies. And I want to see, senior dogs and everybody finding their happy homes and stuff. I mean, the little smiling faces are just too much. It's too much. I love it so much. So, yeah. Yeah. And yeah, definitely follow Mississippi Mutts. We love them. And I will share your stuff. If you tag us, I will share it. I promise. Cross my heart. Because I love it. Everywhere. Yeah. Astro Pet Loyalty. Please share us. I want to see it. Yeah, and the brands like it when you tag them too. They really do. They love to see it. So yeah, so think about them as well. So this is I'm excited, y'all. It's just gonna keep getting better and better. Okay, perfect. So let's see. And also help with harvest shelters. I love this. Okay, so perfect, Paris. So something like this right here is going to tie into My Pet Eats Local. Sharing the Love is expanding to also show support to rescues and shelters. So after Betty White passed, we got this idea to start a Sharing the Love savings fund. And we put several $1,000s into this fund. And the My Pet Eats Local has a swag store, a merch store. So a percent of proceeds of all items sold from this store is going to siphon itself into this fund. And the plan is, and we're still coming up with a structure as to exactly how this is going to work. But the plan is that every year, shelters and rescues that are nominated by our retailers and so forth are going to be added to this list, and everybody is going to get a portion of that fund. So every year we're going to empty that fund and distribute it to shelters and rescues that are nominated. So I started putting together a list. And on our Facebook page, there is a post on there that I was initially collecting nominations through. And but yeah, if you, for right now, if you have a nomination, you can message us on our social media pages, hit us up there, say, I'd like to nominate such and such rescue or such and such shelter, and we'll add them to the list. So there'll be more information as to how this is going to work. But yeah, we definitely want to make sure that rescues and shelters are part of this conversation. They're also part of this whole sharing the love situation. So yeah. Audit Offers. It's our page. Anything that you share, I would share, like related to sharing the love, I would do so on social media just to kind of build the story there. So it's all a collection of stories, experiences, and so forth. Anything related to Sharing the Love, you want to nominate, I would say, do it through, message us through that way. It'll get to me. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Michelle, monthly offers. Are they all available and updated before the month begins, or some added after the first of the month? Just wondering if I need to be checking back throughout the month or new additions. This is a huge thing. So in order for a brand to publish an offer on Astro, they must submit it way before the month starts. So we publish everything prior to the first of the month. If somebody, let's say, for instance, somebody's trying to put out an offer for, April, the cutoff is long since passed. The first of the month starts, they cannot post anything for that month. It's actually even hard for them to get into the second month at that point, or the next month at that point. So yeah, right now you can enroll in offers for May, and there may even be some up there for June. So yeah, so we'll get them out way in advance for you. And we definitely recommend using the brands on there. So like there's like my favorite brands, so to speak. So if you go under offers, there is a way to customize your list so that you basically check all the brands that you carry, and then you can filter and just see those guys. So that's pretty helpful. For the SMS campaigns, can you send it as long as you have a phone number, at least, or until they opt out? So within the marketing suite, at the very top right-hand corner, there's your settings. Click on settings, and it's the very first item under settings. It's new customer settings. So under that, there is a way that if you collect a phone number from a customer, it'll automatically opt them in. So there's a little checkbox that you can check. Otherwise, it would be up to the cashier to check that box, opting them in. So you can make it so the act of them giving you a phone number opts them in. Now, if you've collected that phone number prior to turning on the marketing suite, then you will need to go through and manually opt them in. Now, if you were using SMS before on another marketing platform, and you have customers that have already opted in to be communicated with, and you're switching to Astro Marketing, get with us and we can help you with that. So support@astroloyalty.com. Basically explain your situation. Say, I have all these customers that have already opted in for SMS. I'm switching to Astro. I want them to be able to get SMS text messages, yada, yada, yada. And we are working on ways to mass opt in people. It's just a sticky wicket because of privacy laws and all that. We don't want to violate anything. So yeah. And then they can opt out just like you would opt out of any sort of SMS thing. It'll tell them, each text message will say, it'll tell them how to opt out if they choose to. And then they can opt back in through the app. Here's a trick. All right. So if somebody opts out of email or they opt out of SMS, the only way for them to opt back in is to log into the mobile app, and they can log into the mobile app using any email address that's associated with their pet owner account. So, and then they go under, I think it's privacy settings. No, it's account. They go under account on their mobile app, and there's two toggle switches, one for email and one for SMS. So if you have a customer that's like, I don't want to get an email from you, but I want to use the app, they can download the app, they can log into the app, and then they can go to that little toggle switch and turn it off. So they won't get an email, but they still can use the app, and you can still send them push notifications. Yeah, Kelly, we got you. So yeah, so just support@astroloyalty.com, and we can help you with that for sure. Because yeah, that's a thing that's coming up a lot lately. So we have ways of working that out for sure. I didn't miss anything.
This was really, really amazing. This was such a fun webinar to do. Thank you guys for the most incredible questions. Like, I'm just beaming. Yeah. There's lots of things that everyone needed to know. And I love, we were joking about before the webinar started, we had lots of people join, and I'm like, everyone wants to know the things about the things. So
yeah,
it's so good.
This is an awesome question. Actually, let me share something with you guys. So there is actually, let me mute myself so I don't start a video. All right, here we go. So we did a YouTube, not YouTube, we did a webinar on this, I think earlier this month. That's the YouTube version of it, the recording of it. So we did this webinar because we started to relaunch Astro coupons. And because of that, we turned on basically a new quick campaign version within the marketing suite. So now, just like you can go, if you have the marketing suite, you know how you can go to your offers menu, and below each offer, it'll basically have a button that says, send campaign. That's now part of your coupons. So if you go to your offers menu, and then you'll see where it says manufacturer sponsored coupons, I believe. You click on that, you'll see all of your coupons that are out there. So it's going to be mostly bounce back because that's just how it is right now. But anyway, and then you'll be able to see, how many are still pending, how many have expired, how many have been redeemed, and how many are still pending. Now, the cool thing about this is if you click campaign on there, we'll automatically generate the recipient list for you based on how many coupons for that particular one are still pending. And then we'll generate the template for you automatically. You can edit that template if you want to add a message to it. And then you can send that out. So that has helped immensely so far in just the brief implementation of this. We only turned this on the beginning of this month. So it's been active since April 1st. And then the other part of this, like I mentioned before, is coupons are now part of the mobile app. So the thing that I just constantly tell people is if you collect their email address from them, have like a QR code or something up there at the register where they can scan that and they can get on your app right away. Because that'll keep them the most informed, because the stuff that happens on the app will pertain to them. So yeah, so they'll be able to see their coupons on it. Because before, people were having to tell them like, hey, pay attention to your inbox, coupons will be coming, and they come sporadically based on like 3 to 10 days. It's kind of a thing. App. And then you can send follow-up campaigns, and you can send those follow-up campaigns as push notifications, SMS text messages, all of that. Hey, you have a coupon. Chop, chop. Come back. I miss you. Bring the dog.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I tell people. Bring the dog. Bring the cat. I had one person bring in a monkey. That was fun. I do too. I'm a total cat person. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, and I actually, speaking of monkeys and all of that for sharing the love, we are adding more species to it. So we have Farm and Feed has been a big voice lately on Astro. And, we have, horses and all kinds of buddies, goats, love me a goat, that want to be part of sharing the love. So yeah, if we have brands that are willing to put up a program for that, we will add more species for that. So yeah, Astro cat, Astro dog, Astro monkey, Astro unicorn. Yeah. This is fun. We should do this more often.
I love this. This was the highlight of my week.
Same. All right. Oh, so everyone that came today, or everyone that registered, and this goes for every webinar on Astro. If you've registered and you maybe couldn't make the actual live, you will get an email that contains a recording of the live. And the cool thing about that is you not only get the recording, but you also get the chat. So every link that we share in the chat, you'll be able to access. So if there is a webinar on Astro that you're like, I'm not sure if I can attend, but I want to know what's going on, register. Okay, you'll get everything. Now, if you miss registration, I do post like 99.9% of these on YouTube. In some, actually, no, I post 100% of them on YouTube. Every now and again, I won't publish them if it's something that is like very specific, that might cause confusion. I won't publish it. I'll leave it unlisted, and I'll just share the link with everybody who came. Love this question, Kelly. Okay, so the Astro Marketing Suite is so freaking powerful. It does so much stuff. So I have people that are subscribed to our marketing suite just for the recipient list builder. They don't want anything else. They just want this tool. So the recipient list builder does exactly this and then some. So you can go in there and you can filter through all of your customers based on pretty much anything that they can do at your store related to your loyalty programs on Astro, visitation, all of that. So you can select, okay, I want to select every single customer. I want to make a list of every single customer who has ever bought a primal item ever. All right. Or you can say, I want to select customers that have purchased, have a primal frequent buyer card. I want to see the customers that have a primal frequent buyer card with this many punches left on it. I want to see the customers that have primal and they have redeemable frequent buyer cards. I mean, it's insane. It can do pretty much anything. These lists are viewable and they're exportable. So the cool thing is now a lot of the marketing systems out there, they will not let you export lists because they want you to use their software. Astro doesn't care. So if you're really in love with maybe another marketing program that you're using right now and you just really like the way their template builder works or whatever, you can use Astro Marketing just for that recipient list. You can generate these targeted lists. You can export them out and then import them into your other system, or you can just use Astro because it's easier. But yeah, you can totally do that. You can totally do that. Marketing Suite.
It's also cool when you have a program that changes their frequent buyer punch requirements. So let's say, for instance, they had a 10-in-1 and they moved to a 7-in-1. We're going to automatically move those cards over for you. But what's really cool is you can email your guests who were on that program and be like, hey, it used to be a 10-in-1. Now you're going to get your stuff faster because it's a 7-in-1. And if you already had an open punch card and you had 8 on your card, we filled your card, you're due for a free one, and we've started a new card with 1. So it's a great way to communicate them and get them back into the store. It's awesome.
Yeah. I just shared a link for our knowledge base. So that link right there will take you to every article that we have written on those recipient list, that recipient list builder. And you can make manual lists too. Like if you want to just put together a list of very specific, you can tag people. So some people will make lists of like VIP customers. So you can like tag people as VIP and then you can make your VIP list. You can make a list for like birthdays, dog birthdays, cat birthdays. Like, okay, I want to see the people that have pet birthdays this month. I want to see a list of people that have pet birthdays next month. I mean, it's awesome. Highly recommend it. 10 out of 10.
5 stars.
5 stars. Yeah. So it's cool. It really is. And the even cooler thing. And so Astro, as you may have discovered, we're not a big giant company. We are very fast. So like if you're using the marketing suite and you're using that recipient list builder and you're like, you know what, I really want to be able to generate a list that does this, email us. And our programmers are so quick, it might even be the same day that we're able to implement it. So definitely reach out to us if you have a wish list. We want to know because we can make it. Mm-hmm.
If you dream it, we can do it for the most part. Small, fine print. I still do not have a wine dispensing pony, but we can do other things besides create that.
Oh my god, I love it. I mean, why stop there? What about a wine dispensing unicorn? That'd be freaking cute. Yeah, awesome. Okay, cool. If you guys liked this whole experience, I will put our webinars on our Facebook page under events, so you can find links to register there. You can go to astroloyalty.com and select webinars. You can find us there. And you can also find them. I'll mention them in the newsletter. The newsletters go up either before the first of the month or on the first of the month, or like the first week of the month, just depending on. We used to make it so that webinars were like only registerable by certain people. Like we would say, okay, this is for retailers, this is for, manufacturers or vendors or whatever. We've opened them up to everyone because it just makes sense. We all need to know how things work, and we all need to know what everybody needs. So anybody and everybody is welcome to attend any single one of our webinars. We would love to have you. Love that. See?
Ooh.
Right. Love that.
I wrote it down. I'm going to forward it on to the geniuses who make those kinds of things happen. I can't say that it'll happen, but that's a super great idea.
Yeah. No, I love that. Yeah. And that could be something, because I think you already have a totally customized app. And if you do, that could be something that we could add to it. Yeah, definitely get with us on that, Michelle, for sure. We'll help you out with that. Yes. I love that.
I bet we never hang up this webinar ever. We'll just keep it open and just keep those ideas flowing. And
yeah, I was just going to make a post about a horse today. So one of our employees, Tessa, her horse Missy had a filly on Easter, actually. And she decided to name her Rose after Betty White's character. So I mean, whole heart. I love that so much. So yeah, I wanted to do another post of Rose, Missy and Rose. But yeah, Michelle, definitely email support. We can help with that for sure. In some way, shape, or form. Awesome. Okay. Well, I mean, I hate to do this. We're just gonna give it a minute. Anybody else has any questions? Like Stacey said, I could sit here all day. I'm feeling comfy. All I need is a cat.
Yes, and a coffee.
Yeah. You're very welcome, Michelle. Love to have you. Yeah.
Paula, I don't know if you want to watch this again. You might get some abs from giggling a little too hard. It was an awesome one. It was great fun.
Yay. Thank you for coming, Kelly. We hope to see you again soon. And Desiree, I feel your pain. Thanks, Chris. All right, cool, guys. Well, thank you for hanging out with us for so long. We love it. We know y'all are busy people. I know. I've been there. I'm so busy. So yeah, awesome. Well, great.
Thanks, guys.
See you very soon. Y'all
Happy
take
Wednesday.
care. Bye, y'all.